laughing and quipping and clapping, we're happy as happy can be. Laughing and laughing and quipping and clapping, we're happy as happy can be.
Forsaking to greet that awaking with carols we come, and
handkerchiefs upon our eyes, be good enough to bind, and take good care that both of us are absolutely blind. Then turn us round and we, with all convenience dispatch, will undertake to marry any two of you we catch. We will undertake to marry any two of them we catch.
Are you peeping? Can you see me?
Dark and keeping, dark and reading.
If you find it, truly say so.
All right-minded players play so.
But a cheating they are cheating, surely they deserve a beating this too much.
Spanish shore. The Duke of Plazator.
And his Grace's Duchess true. And his Grace's daughter too.
And his Grace's bride is from Venice shores have gone. Venice shores have gone.
And if heaven and earth get back to Spain, never, 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 never to see again. We'll never, 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 never to see again.
Died that brandy from the Spanish shore. The new Duke of Plazator.
Oh, his Grace's Duchess staunch and true. And his Grace's daughter too.
For his Grace is on particular from Venice shores will come. Venice shores will come.
If heaven and earth get back to Spain, never, 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 never to see again. We'll never, 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 never to see again. We'll never, 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 never to see again.
Last, we have arrived at our destination. This is the Ducal Palace. That is the Ducal Palace, and it is here that the Grand Inquisitor resides. As a Castilian hidalgo of 95 quarterings, I regret that I am unable to pay my state visit on a horse. As a Castilian hidalgo of that description, I should have preferred to ride through the streets of Venice, but owing, I presume, to an unusually wet season, the streets are in such a condition that equestrian exercise is impracticable. No matter, where is our suite?
Your Grace, I'm here.
Why do you not do yourself the honor to kneel when you address his Grace?
My love, it is so small a matter. Still, you may as well do it.
The young man seems to entertain but an imperfect appreciation of the respect due from a menial to a Castilian hidalgo.
My child, you are hard upon our suite.
Papa, I've no patience with the presumption of persons in his plebeian position. If he cannot respect that position, let him be whipped until he does so.
Let us hope that the omission was not intended as a slight. I should be much hurt if I thought it was. So would he. Where are the halberdiers who were to have had the honor of meeting us here, that our visit to the Grand Inquisitor might be made in becoming state?
Your Grace, the halberdiers are mercenary people who stipulated for a trifle on account.
How tiresome. Well, let us hope that the Grand Inquisitor is a blind gentleman. And the band, who were to have had the honor of escorting us. I see no band.
Your Grace, the band of solid persons who required to be paid in advance.
That's so like a band.
Insuperable difficulties meet me at every turn.
But surely they know his Grace.
Exactly. They know his Grace.
Well, let us hope that the Grand Inquisitor is a deaf gentleman. A cornet à piston would have been something. You do not happen to possess the accomplishment of tootling like a cornet à piston?
Alas, no, Your Grace, but I can imitate a farmyard.
Ah. No, I don't see how that would help us. I don't see how we could bring it in.
It wouldn't help us in the least. We are not a parcel of graziers come to market. Don't.
My love, our sweet feelings. Be so good as to ring the bell and inform the Grand Inquisitor that His Grace the Duke of Plazator, Count Matadoro, Baron Picadoro,
And sweet.
and Sweet have arrived and beg,
Desire. Demand.
oh, and demand an audience.
Your Grace has but to command.
I felt sure of it. I felt sure of it. And now, my love, shall we tell her? I think so. And now, my love, prepare for a magnificent surprise. It is my agreeable duty to reveal to you a secret which should make you the happiest young lady
been necessary to preserve for 20 years.
When you were a prattling babe of 6 months old, you were married by proxy to no less a personage than the infant son and heir of His Majesty, the immeasurably wealthy King of Barataria.
Married to the infant son of the King of Barataria? Was I consulted? Then it was an unpardonable liberty.
Consider his extreme youth and forgive him. Shortly after the ceremony, that misguided monarch abandoned the creed of his forefathers and became a Wesleyan Methodist of the most bigoted and persecuting type. The Grand Inquisitor, determined that the innovation should not be perpetuated in Barataria, caused your smiling and unconscious husband to be stolen and conveyed to Venice. A fortnight since, that Methodist monarch and all his Wesleyan court were killed in an insurrection. And we are here to ascertain the whereabouts of your husband and to hail you, our daughter, as Her Majesty, the reigning Queen of Barataria.
Your Majesty.
It is at such moments as these that one feels how necessary it is to travel with a full band.
I, the Queen of Barataria? But I've nothing to wear. We're practically penniless.
That point has not escaped me. Although I am unhappily in straitened circumstances at present, my social influence is something enormous, and a company to be called the Duke of Plaza Toro Limited. Sorry, yes, the Duke of Plaza Toro PLC is in course of formation to work me. An influential directorate has been secured, and I shall myself join the board after allotment.
Do you mean to say that the Queen of Barataria could be called upon at any time to witness her honoured sire in the process of liquidation? The speculation is not exempt from that drawback. If your father should stop, it will of course be necessary to wind him up. But it's so undignified. It's so degrading. A grandee of Spain turned into a PLC. Such a thing was never heard of.
My child, the Duke of Plaza Toro does not follow fashions, he leads them. He always leads everybody. When he was in the army, he led his regiments. He occasionally led them into action. He invariably led them out of it. In enterprise of martial kind, when there was any fighting, he led his regiment from behind, he found it less exciting. But when away his regiment ran, his place was at the border, that celebrated, cultivated, underrated nobleman, the Duke of Plaza Toro. In the first and foremost line, you always found the time off, and celebrated, cultivated, underrated nobleman, the Duke of Plaza Toro. Doing, Johnson's hand in hand, they all proceeded. So soldier in that gallant battle, half as well as he did. He lay concealed throughout the war, and so preserved his war. That animated, well-connected body, the Duke of Plaza Toro. In every dirty deed, he always took the lead. That animated, well-connected body, the Duke of Plaza Toro. When told that they would all be shot, lest they left the service, that hero hesitated not, so rather lost his purpose. He sent his resignation in, the first of all his quarrel, that very no-go-flowing, easy-going Paladin, the Duke of Plaza Toro. To men of gross and clear, he always showed the way, that very no-go-flowing, easy-going Paladin.
What have I done? What have I allowed you to do?
Nothing, I trust, that you will ever have reason to repent.
Nay, Louis, it may not be. You have embraced me for the last time.
Casilda!
I have just learned, to my surprise and indignation, that I was wed in babyhood to the infant son of the King of Barataria.
The son of the King of Barataria? The child who was stolen in infancy by the Inquisition?
The same. But of course, you know his story.
Know his story? Why, I have often told you that my mother was the nurse to whose charge he was entrusted.
True, I had forgotten. Well, he has been discovered, and my father has brought me here to claim his hand.
But you will not recognize this marriage. It took place when you were too young to understand its import.
Nay, Louis, respect my principles, and cease to torture me with vain entreaties. Henceforth, my life is another's.
But stay, the present and the future, they are another's. But the past, that at least is ours, and none shall take it from us. As we may revel in naught else, let us revel in that.
I don't think I grasp your meaning.
Yet it is logical enough. You say you cease to love me.
I say I may not love you.
Ah, but you do not say you did not love me.
I love you with a frenzy that words are powerless to express. And that but 5 brief minutes since.
Exactly, my own. That is, until 10 minutes since, my own. My lately loved, my recently adored one, tell me that until, say, a quarter of an hour ago, I was all in all to thee.
I like your idea. It's ingenious. But don't do that.
There can be no harm in reveling in the past.
No, whatever. But an embrace cannot be taken to act retrospectively.
Perhaps not.
We may recollect an embrace. I recollect many. But we must not repeat them.
Then let us recollect a few. Oh. Ah, Casilda, you were to me as the sun is to the earth.
A quarter of an hour ago.
About that.
And to think that but for this miserable discovery, you would have been my own for life.
Through life to death, a quarter of an hour ago.
How greedily my thirsty ears drink in the golden words of that sweet melody. A quarter of an hour. Well, it must be about 20 minutes since now.
About that, in such a matter, one cannot be too precise.
And to think our love, so full of life, is but a silent, solemn memory.
Must it be so, Casilda?
Louis, it must be so.
There was a time, a time forever gone, alone is me. It was no crime to love but thee alone, alone is me. One heart, one
Don Alhambra del Bavero, the Grand Inquisitor of Spain. It was his distinction who so thoughtfully abstracted your infant husband and brought him here to Venice.
So this is the little lady who is so unexpectedly called upon to assume the functions of royalty. And a very nice little lady, too.
Jimp, isn't she?
Distinctly jimped. Allow me.
Oh,
Naughty temper.
You must make some allowance. Her Majesty's head is a little turned by her access of dignity.
I could have wished that Her Majesty's access of dignity had turned it in this direction.
Unfortunately, if I am not mistaken, there appears to be some little doubt as to the whereabouts of His Majesty.
a doubt as to his whereabouts? Then we may yet be saved.
A doubt? Oh dear no. No doubt at all. He is here, in Venice, plying the modest but picturesque calling of a gondolier. I can give you his address. I see him every day. In the entire annals of our history, there is absolutely no circumstance so entirely free from all manner of doubt of any kind whatever. Listen, and I'll tell you all about it. I stole the prince and I brought him here, left him gaily prattling with a highly respectable gondolier who promised the royal babe to rear and teach him the trade that time on near with his own beloved prattling. Both of the babes were strong and stout, considering all things clever. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
But praying and much disposed to feel to his terrible taste for tickling, that highly respectable gondolier could never declare with a mind sincere which of the two is his offspring dear and which the royal stripling. Which was which he could never make out, despite his best endeavor. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
Time sped and when at the end of the year I sought that infant cherished, that highly respectable gondolier was lying a corpse on his humble bier. I dropped a grand inquisitor's tear. That gondolier had perished, a tainted drink combined with gout had doubled him up forever. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
The children followed his own career, the statesman can't be parried. Of a highly respectable gondolier, well, one of the two will soon be here. But which of the two it is not quite clear is the royal prince you married. Search in and out and round about, and you'll discover never a tale so free from every doubt, or probable possible shadow of doubt, or possible doubt whatever.
A tale so free from every doubt, or probable possible shadow of doubt, or possible doubt whatever.
Then do you mean to say that I am married to one of two gondoliers? But you don't know which.
Without any doubt of any kind whatever. But be reassured, the nurse to whom your husband was entrusted is another of the musical young man who is such a past master of that delicately modulated instrument. She can, no doubt, establish the king's identity beyond all question.
Heavens, how did he know that?
You stupid boy. A grand inquisitor is always up to date. His mother is at present the wife of a highly respectable and old-established brigand who carries on an extensive practice in the mountains around Cordova. Accompanied by two of my emissaries, he will set off at once for his mother's address, and she will return with him. And if they find any difficulty in making up her mind, the persuasive influence of the torture chamber will jog her memory.
But let
unseemly wrangle. Such complications frequently occur. Life is one closely complicated tangle. Death is the only true unraveler. Try we lifelong be and never stranger of life's tangle stay. Why should we in vain endeavor? Yes and yes and yes again. What's a bachelor? A mere nothing. He's a chrysalis. He can't be said to live. He exists.
What a delightful institution marriage is. Why have we wasted all this time? Why didn't we marry 10 years ago?
Because you couldn't find anybody nice enough. Because you were waiting for us.
I suppose that was the reason. We were waiting for you without knowing it. Hello.
Good morning. If this gentleman is an undertaker, it's a bad omen.
Ceremony of some sort going on?
He is an undertaker. No, a little unimportant family gathering. Nothing in your life.
Somebody's birthday, I suppose.
Yes, mine.
And mine.
And mine.
Curious coincidence. And how old may you all be?
It's a rude question, but about 10 minutes.
Remarkably fine children. But surely you're jesting.
In other words, we were married 10 minutes since.
Married? You don't mean to say you are married? Oh, yes. We are married. What? Both of you?
All four of us.
Bless my heart. How extremely awkward.
You don't mind, I suppose? You were not thinking of eyebrows for yourself, I presume? Oh, Giuseppe, look at him. He was. He's heartbroken.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I wasn't. No, my man. We don't want anything in your line today. And if your curiosity is satisfied, you can go.
You mustn't call me your man. It's a liberty. I don't think you know who I am.
Not we, indeed. We are jolly Gondoliers, the sons of Baptista Palmieri, who led the last revolution. Republicans, heart and soul, we hold all men to be equal. As we are for oppression, we are for kings. As we detest vainglory, we detest rank. As we despise effeminacy, we despise wealth. We are Venetian Gondoliers, your equals in everything except our calling, and in that at once your masters and your servants.
Bless my heart, how unfortunate. One of you may be Baptista's son, for anything I know to the contrary. But the other is no less a personage than the only son of the late king of Barataria.
What?
And I trust it was that one who slapped me on the shoulder and called me his man. One of us a king. Which is it? What does it matter? As you are both Republicans and hold kings in detestation, of course, you'll abdicate at once. Good morning.
Oh, don't do that.
Well, as to that, of course, there are kings and kings. When I say that I detest kings, I mean I detest bad kings.
I see. It's a delicate distinction.
Quite so. Now, I can conceive a kind of king, an ideal king. The creature of my fancy, you know, who would be absolutely unobjectionable. A king, for instance, who would abolish taxes.
Especially the poll tax.
And make everything cheap. Oh, except gondolas.
And give a great many free entertainments to the gondoliers.
And let off fireworks on the Grand Canal and engage all the gondolas for the occasion.
And scramble money on the Rialto among the gondoliers.
Such a king would be a blessing to his people. And if I were a king, that is the sort of king I would be.
And so would I. Come, I'm glad to find your objections are not insuperable.
Oh, they're not insuperable.
No, they're not insuperable.
And besides, we are open to conviction.
They are open to conviction. Oh, they've often been convicted.
Our views may have been hastily formed on insufficient grounds. They may be crude, ill-digested, erroneous. I have a very poor opinion of the politician who is not open to conviction.
Oh, he's a fine fellow. That's the sort of politician for my money.
Then we'll consider it settled. Now, as the country is in a state of insurrection, it is absolutely necessary that you should assume the reins of government at once. And until it is ascertained which of you is to be king, I have arranged that you should reign jointly, so that no question can arise hereafter as to the validity of any of your acts. As one individual. As one individual.
Like this.
Something like that. And we may take our friends with us and give them places about the court. Undoubtedly. That's always done. I'm convinced.
So,
Then the sooner we're off, the better. We'll just run home and pack a few things.
Stop. That won't do at all. Ladies are not admitted.
What?
separate us from our wives. Oh, dear, this is very awkward. Only for a time, a few months. After all, what is a few months?
But we've only been married half an hour.
Kind sir, you cannot have the heart or life to part from those to whom an hour ago we reunited. Before us glowing hopes you step, or look if steps, and pause before you till this love all uninvited. You men can never understand that heart and hand cannot be separated when we go.
Which is the king and which the other? To Barataria court I'll bring his foster mother. The former nursling to declare she'll be delighted. That's settled, let each happy pair be reunited. Viva, viva, your word is done. Viva, bring up the party's done. Viva, bring the recess in school. Viva, then come the honeymoon. Viva, viva, viva.
Then one of us will be a queen and sit on a golden throne, with a crown instead of a hat on her head and diamonds all of her own, with a beautiful robe of gold and green. I've always understood. I wonder whether she'll wear a feather. I rather think she should.
Oh, 'tis a glorious thing, I think, to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair. But a regular royal queen. She'd drive up off to the carriage and pair with the king on the left hand side, with a milk by force and a mother, of course, whenever she wants to ride, with beautiful silver shoes to wear upon her dainty feet, with endless locks, her beautiful frocks, and as much as she wants to eat. Oh, 'tis a glorious thing, I think, to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair, but a regular royal queen.
Whenever she condescends to walk, be sure she'll shine us that, with a haughty stare and a lily hair like well-born aristocrats. At elegant high society talks, she'll bear away the world with her. How
right to do. And everybody will roundly bow, she's fair as flowers in May, and say, how clever, and whatsoever she condescends to say. Oh, 'tis the glorious thing I mean to be a regular loyal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair, but a regular loyal queen. Oh, 'tis a glorious thing I mean to be a regular loyal queen, a right and regular royal queen. Replying we sing as one individual, as I find I'm a king, to my kingdom I bid you all. I'm aware you object to pavilions and palaces, but you'll find I respect your republican palaces. You'll find I respect your republican palaces.
As they know we object to pavilions and palaces, how can they respect our republican palaces?
For everyone who feels inclined to vote, we undertake to fight congenial with his frame of mind, that all shall equal be. The Chancellor in his cloak, the Earl of Berkeley, and the Duke, the Groom, the Butler, and the Cook, they all shall equal be. The aristocrat to bank with goods, the aristocrat to hunt and shoot, the aristocrat to clean our boots, they all shall equal be. The noble lord who rules the state, the noble lord who cleans the plate, the noble lord who scrubs the grate, they all shall equal be. The Lord High Bishop, Orthodox, the Lord High Coachman on the box, the Lord High Vagabond in the stocks, they all shall equal be. For everyone who feels inclined, suppose we undertake to fight, continue with his frame of mind, continue with his frame of mind, and all shall equal be. put the subjects at their ease by doing all they can to please. On! Not to earn a bread and cheese, seize every opportunity. On! Not to earn a bread and cheese, seize every opportunity. On! We act in perpetuity. On! We act in perpetuity. For happiness the very is the hours are you wishing for. Either temperament, republican equality, republican equality, tempered with equality. Gentlemen, we are much obliged to you for your expressions of satisfaction and good feeling. I say we are much obliged to you for your expressions of satisfaction and good feeling. We heard you. We are delighted at any time to fall in with sentiments so charmingly expressed. That's all right. At the same time, there is just one little grievance that we should like to ventilate. What? Oh, don't be alarmed. It's not serious. It is arranged that, until it is decided which of us two is the actual king, we are to act as one person. Exactly. Now, although we act as one person, we are, in point of fact, two persons.
I don't think we can go into that. It is a legal fiction, and legal fictions are solemn things. Situated as we are, we can't recognize two independent responsibilities.
No, but you can recognize two independent appetites. It's all very well to say we act as one person, but when you supply us with only one ration between us, I should describe it as a legal fiction carried a little too far.
It's rather a nice point. I don't like to make a decision offhand. Suppose we reserve it for argument before the full court.
Yes, but what are we to do in the meantime? We want our tea.
I think we may make an interim order for double rations, on their Majesties entering into the usual undertaking to indemnify in case of an adverse decision.
That would seem to meet the case, but we must work hard, stick to it. Nothing like work. Oh, certainly. We quite understand that a man who holds the magnificent position of king should do something to justify it. Yes. We are called Your Majesty. We are allowed to buy ourselves magnificent clothes. Our subjects frequently nod to us in the streets. The sentries always return our salutes. And we enjoy the inestimable privilege of heading the subscription lists to all the principal charities. In return for these advantages, the least we can do is make ourselves useful about the palace. Rising early in the morning, we proceed to light the fire. Then our Majesty adorning in its work and day attire, we embark without delay on the duties of the day. First we polish up some batches of political dispatches and foreign politicians circumvent. Then if business isn't heavy, we may hold a royal levee or ratify some acts of parliament. Though we probably review the household troops with a usual chala-humps and chala-hoops, or receive it ceremonial and stage, and interesting is to potentate. After that we generally go and dress up like a fairy. It's a rather nervous duty, he's a touchy little man. Write some letters literary for a private secretary. We shape you with spelling so we help him if we can. Then if you want paintings here, we go down to the dinner, then we polish the regalia and the coronation plate. Spend an hour in city making all our gentlemen in waiting, or we run a little errand for the minister of state. Philosophers may think of the troubles of a king, yet the duties are delightful and the privilege is great. And the privilege and pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is to run a little errand for the minister of state. Philosophers may think of the troubles of a king, yet the duties are delightful and the privilege is great. And the privilege and pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is to run a little errand for the minister of state. After luncheon making merry on a fun and glass of sherry, if we've nothing in particular to do, we may make a proclamation or receive a deputation, then we possibly create a peer or two. Then we help a fellow creature on his path with the garter or the thistle or the bar. or we dress and toddle off in semi-stage. What festival, a function, or a fete, where we go and stand a sentry at the palace by the tent, marching thither, up and down to and fro, while the warrior on duty goes in search of beer and beauty, and it generally happens that he hasn't far to go. Here he leaves us if he's able, just in time to lay the table, then we dine and serve the coffee, and at 12:30 or 1. With a pleasure that's emphatic, we retire to our attic, with a gratifying feeling that our duty has been done. Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of the king, but of pleasures there are many, and of worries there are none. And the culminating pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is the gratifying feeling that our duty has been done. Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of the king, but of pleasures there are many, and of worries there are none. And the culminating pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is the gratifying feeling that our duty has been done. Very pleasant existence. They're also singularly kind and considerate. You don't find them wanting to do this or wanting to do that, or saying, it's my turn now. No, they let us have all the fun to ourselves and never seem to dread it.
It makes one feel quite selfish. It almost seems like taking advantage of those good nature.
How nice they were about the double rations.
Most considerate. Ah. There's only one thing wanting to make us public,
And that is?
dear little wives we left behind us 3 months ago.
Yes, it is dull without female society. We can do without everything else, but we can't do without that.
And if we have that perfection, we have everything. There is only one recipe for perfect
Take a pair of sparkling eyes to never underwater the thirsty falling lips. Do not even I surprise having passed the Rubicon. Take a pair of rosy lips. Take a figure trimly planned, such as admiration meant. Be particular in this. Take a tender little hand, stained with dainty fingers. Press it, in parentheses. Take what is you like, even. Take and keep them if you can. If you can, take what is you like, even. Take and keep them if you can. If you can.
are getting on. And she said done. And they all said done. And we asked old Gilbert to lend us his boat, and he said done. And we've crossed the sea, and thank goodness that's done. And here we are, and I've done.
And now which of you is king?
And which of us is queen?
That we shan't know until nurse turns up. But never mind that. The question is, how shall we celebrate the commencement of our honeymoon? Gentlemen, will you allow us to offer you a magnificent banquet? We will. Thanks very much. And ladies, what do you say to a dance?
Oh, a banquet and a dance. It's too much happiness.
Sorry, you're late. But I saw a groom dancing, and a footman. Yes, that's the Lord High Footman. But surely the servants' hall is a place for these gentry. Oh, dear, no. We have appropriated the servants' hall. It's the royal apartment, and accessible only by tickets obtainable at the Lord Chamberlain's office.
We really must have some place we can call our own.
I'm afraid I'm not quite equal to the intellectual pressure of the conversation. You see, the monarchy has been remodeled on Republican principles. What? All departments rank equally, and everybody is at the head of his department. I see.
I'm afraid you're annoyed.
No, I won't say that. It wasn't quite what I expected. I'm awfully sorry.
So am I.
Well, by the by, can I offer you anything after your voyage? A plate of macaroni and a rusk. No, nothing. Obliged to be careful.
Yes, gout. You see, in every court there are distinctions that must be observed.
Well, there are there?
Why, of course. For instance, you wouldn't have a Lord High Chancellor playing leapfrog with his own cook.
Why not?
Why not? Because a Lord High Chancellor is a personage of great dignity who should never, under any circumstances, place himself in a position of being told to tuck in his tuppenny, except by a nobleman of his own rank. A Lord High Archbishop, for instance, might tell a Lord High Chancellor to tuck in his tuppenny. That's certainly not a cook, gentlemen. Certainly not a cook.
Not even a Lord High cook.
My good friend, that is a rank that is not recognized in the Lord Chamberlain's office. No, it won't do. I'll give you an instance in which the experiment was tried. There lived a king, as I've been told, in the wonder-working days of old, when hearts were twice as gold, and 20 times as mellow. Good Emperor triumphed in his place, and in his heart he found a place for all the erring human race, and every wretched fellow. When he had relished wine to drink, it made him very sad to think that some had drunk it, or its chief must be content with toddy. He wished all men as rich as he, and he was rich as rich could be. So to the top of every tree promoted everybody. For that's the kind of king he wished all men as rich as he. So to the top of every tree promoted everybody. Lord Chancellors were chief as sprats, and bishops in their shovel hats were plenty cool as tabby cats in point of many. Ambassadors brought up like they, prime ministers and such as they, who like asparagus in May, and dukes were 3 a penny. On every side through marsh and street, 12 hero lords lieutenants, with admirals the ocean deep, all round his wide dominions. And party leaders you might meet in 2s and 3s on every street, maintaining with no little heat their various opinions. Now that's a sight you couldn't meet, party leaders in the street, maintaining with no little heat their various opinions. That king, although no one denied his heart was of abnormal size, yet he'd have acted otherwise if he had been a cuter. The end is easily foretold when every blessed thing you hold is made of silver or of gold. You long for simple pewter when you have nothing else to wear but cloth of gold and satin thread. From cloth of gold you cease to care. Out goes the price of shoddy. In short, whoever you may be, to this conclusion you'll agree. When everyone is somebody, then no one's anybody. So that's plain can be. To this conclusion we agree. When everyone is somebody, then no one's anybody. His Grace, the Duke of Barataria, Her Grace the Duchess, and their beautiful daughter Casilda. I say, their beautiful daughter Casilda, we heard you, have arrived in Barataria, and will be here at any moment.
The Duke and Duchess are nothing to us.
But the daughter, the beautiful daughter. Oh, you're a lucky dog, one of you.
I think you're a very incomprehensible old gentleman.
Not a bit. I'll explain. Many years ago, when you, whichever you are, were a baby, you, whichever you are, were married to a little girl who's grown up to be the most beautiful young lady in Spain. That beautiful young lady will be here to claim you, whichever you are, in half an hour. And I congratulate that one, whichever it is, with all my heart.
Married? What a baby!
But we were married 3 months ago.
One of you, only one. The other, whichever it is an unintentional bigamist.
Well, upon my word.
Hey, who are these young people?
Who are we? Why, they're wives, of course. We've just arrived.
Their wives? Oh, dear. Dear, it's complicated. Dear, what will Her Majesty say?
Do you mean to say that one of these monarchs was already married? And that neither of us will be a queen?
That was the idea I intended to convey.
Oh!
Tessa, my dear, dear child.
Get away, perhaps it's you.
My poor, poor little woman.
No, don't do that. Who knows whose husband you are? And pray, why didn't you tell us all about this before they left Venice?
Because if I had, no earthly temptation would have induced these gentlemen to lead to such extremely fascinating and utterly irresistible little ladies.
There's something in that.
I may mention, you will not be kept long in suspense, as the old lady who nursed the royal child is at present in the torture chamber, waiting for me to interview her.
Poor old girl. Hadn't you better go and put her out of her suspense?
Oh, no. There's no hurry. She's all right. She has all the Sunday supplements. Well, I'll go and interrogate her. And in the meantime, may I suggest the absolute propriety of your regarding yourselves as single young ladies?
Good evening.
Well, here's a pleasant state of things.
Delightful. One of ours is married to 2 young ladies, and nobody knows which. And the other is married to 1 young lady, whom nobody can identify.
And one of us is married to one of you, and the other is married to nobody. But which of you is married to which of us? And what's to become of the other?
It's quite simple. Observe. 2 husbands have managed to acquire 3 wives. 3 wives, 2 husbands. That's 2/3 of a husband to each wife.
Oh, Mount Vesuvius, here we are in arithmetic. My good sir, one can't marry a vulgar fraction.
You've no right to call me a vulgar fraction.
We are getting rather mixed. The situation is entangled. Let's try and comb it out.
In a contemplative passion, and the tranquil frame of mind, free from every kind of passion, some solution let us find. Let us grasp the situation, solve the complicated plot. Quiet, calm deliberation disentangles every knot. In
I
a
know just precisely where the
contemplative
last quarter
passion,
strikes us last. He's from the London Hayes, he's the
free of every kind of passion, some solutions let us find.
And yet never I will make it, I can't wish it in a twice, of a charter overrated, I almost rather die.
I do Tessa willy-nilly, all at once a victim fell. She is what is called a silly, still she answers pretty well. She is a silly, still she answers pretty well.
So when people think he begs someone married of that kind,
The tranquil frame of mind, people that young lady married to receive her can't refuse.
If I were to take around Morris, I'd make a chicken aristocrat. He's married to
my child, prepare to receive the husband to whom you were united under such interesting and romantic circumstances.
But which one is it? There are two of them.
It is true that at present His Majesty is a double gentleman, but as soon as the circumstances of his marriage are ascertained, he will, ipso facto, boil down to a single gentleman, thus presenting a unique example of an individual who becomes a single man and a married man by the same operation.
I have known instances in which the characteristics of both conditions existed concurrently in the same individual.
He couldn't be the Plaza Toro.
Oh, couldn't he, though?
Well, whatever happens, I shall, of course, be a dutiful wife. But I can never love my husband.
I don't know. It's extraordinary what unprepossessing people one can love if one gives one's mind to it.
I loved your father.
My love, that remark is a little hard, I think. Rather cruel, perhaps. Somewhat uncalled for, I venture to believe.
It was very difficult, my dear. But I said to myself, that man is a duke, and I will love him. Several of my relations begged that I couldn't, but I did desperately.
On the day when I was wedded to your admirable sire, I acknowledge that I dreaded an explosion of desire. I was overcome with panic, for his temper was volcanic, and it didn't dare revolt, for I feared a thunderbolt. I was always very wary, for his fury was ecstatic. His refined vocabulary most unpleasantly emphatic. To the thunder of this Tartar, I knocked under like a martyr. When intently he was fuming, I was gently unassuming. While reviling me completely, I was smiling very sweetly. I was smiling very sweetly, very sweetly, giving him the very best and getting back the very worst. That is how I tried to tame your great progenitor at once, giving him the very best and getting back the very worst. That is how I tried to tame the great progenitor at last. But I found that a reliance on my threatening appearance, and a resolute defiance of my insolent appearance, and a gentle intimation of my heart determination to see what I could do to be wife and husband too, was the only thing required for to make you such a trouble, and you couldn't have required more reciprocating trouble, ever willing to be wooing. We were feeling, we were wooing. When I nearly from him parted, we were nearly broken hearted. When in sleep were reunited, we were equally delighted. We were equally delighted, delighted. So with those shut the front and doors, in up to the wall, I came to drink the cliff and the janitor wall. So with those shut the front and doors, in up to the wall, I came to drink the
My only hope is that when my husband sees what a shady family he has married into, he will repudiate the contract immediately.
Shady? A nobleman shady who is blazing in the luster of unaccustomed pocket money? A nobleman shady who can look back upon 95 quarterings? It is not every nobleman who is 95 quarters in arrear. I mean, who can look back upon 95 of them. And this, just as I have been floated at a premium. Oh, fie!
Your Majesty is surely unaware that directly your Majesty's father came before the public, he was applied for over and over again.
My dear, applied for over and over again, and very urgently applied for too, long before he was registered under the Limited Liability Act. To help unhappy commoners and add to their enjoyment, affords a man of noble rank congenial employment. Of our attempts we offer you examples illustrative. The work is light, and I may add, it's most remunerative. Small handles and orders for mares and reformers I get, and they're highly delighted.
They're highly delighted.
MPs, baronetted, champanels, gazetted, and second-rate aldermen knighted.
Yes, aldermen knighted.
Foundation stone laying I find very paying it happens, a large sum to my making.
Large sums to his makings.
At charity dinners, the best of speech fillers, I get 10% on the takings.
1/10 of the takings. I present any lady whose conduct is shady or smacking of doubtful propriety.
Doubtful propriety.
And when virtue and washer, I take and whitewash her and launch her in first-rate society.
First-rate society.
I recommend makers of clumsy dressmakers who never have finishing touches.
The finishing touches.
A sum in addition they paid for permission to say they made for the Duchess.
They make for the Duchess. Those presently famous, the ready-made tailors, quote me as the great double barrel.
The great double barrel.
I allow them to do so, though Robinson Crusoe with giblets and wearing apparel.
Such wearing apparel.
I sit by selection upon the direction of several companies' bubble.
Or company's bubble.
As soon as they're floated, I freely banknote it. I'm pretty well paid for my trouble.
He's paid for his trouble. At midnight party, I play a big party, and I'm by no means a beginner.
She's not a beginner.
2 quarters of my station, a remuneration, 5 guineas a night, and my dinner.
Wine with the dinner.
I've once Mrs. Clinton, no medicine's patent, and you many other you
Believe me, you mustn't.
and vow my perfection derives its perfection from somebody so which it does.
It certainly doesn't. When Raggy is witness to anyone's witness to any place of
A
preference.
place of preferment. We're often in waiting at junket or baiting, and sometimes in tender intervals.
We enjoy an interment.
Ensure you think the best part of spring will serve to take your conscience into your clutches. Or put in the guest of you cannot do better than brought out a Duke or a Duchess.
A Duke or a Duchess. Their Majesties. Your Majesty.
Oh, the Duke of Barataria, I believe.
The same. Allow me to present to you
The young lady one of us met.
Gentlemen, I am the most obedient servant of one of you. Oh, look at it.
I am now about to address myself to the gentleman whom my daughter married. The other may allow his attention to wander if he likes, for what I am about to say does not concern him. Sir, you will find in this young lady a combination of excellences which you would search for in vain in any young lady who had not the good fortune to be my daughter. There seems to be some little doubt as to which of you is the gentleman I am addressing, and which of you is the gentleman who is allowing his attention to wander. But when that doubt is solved, I shall say, still addressing the attentive gentleman, take her, and may she make you happier than her mother has made me. And now, there is a little matter to which I think I am entitled to take exception. I come here in state with Her Grace the Duchess. Majesty, my daughter. And what do I find? Do I find, for instance, a guard of honor to receive me? No.
No.
Refreshment provided? No.
No.
The town illuminated? No.
No.
Our royal salute fired? No.
No.
Triumphal arches erected? No.
No.
The bell set ringing?
No.
Yes. One. The visitors. And I rang it myself. It is not enough. It is not enough.
Upon my honor, I'm very sorry. But you see, I was brought up in a gondola, and my ideas of politeness are confined to taking off my cap to my passengers when they tip me.
Well, that's all very well in its way, but it is not enough.
I'll take off anything else, in reason.
But a royal salute to my daughter, it costs so little.
Ah, I don't want a salute.
My dear sir, as soon as we know which of us is entitled to take that liberty, she shall have as many salutes as she likes.
As for guards of honor, triumphal arches, you don't know our people. They wouldn't stand it.
They are very offhand in us. Very offhand indeed.
Oh, but you mustn't allow that. You must keep them in proper discipline. You must impress your court with your importance. You want deportment, carriage.
Oh, we've got a carriage.
Manner, dignity. There must be a good deal of this sort of thing. Oh. And a little of this sort of thing. Oh. And perhaps just a soupçon, also. Soupçon, French. Of this sort of thing. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's very useful and most effective. Just attend to me. You are a king, I am a subject. Very good. I am a courtier, grave and serious, who is about to kiss your hand.
young chicks together. That's called tact.
It's very awkward. We really ought to tell her how we are situated. It's not fair to the girl.
Why don't we do it?
I'd rather not.
You. I don't know how to begin. Madam, we, that is several of us.
Gentlemen, I am bound to listen to you, but it is only right to tell you that not knowing I was married in infancy, I'm over head and ears in love with somebody else.
Our case exactly. We are over head and ears in love with somebody else. In point of fact, with our wives.
Your wife? Then you're married. It's not our fault. We knew nothing about it.
We are sisters of misfortune.
My good girls, I don't blame you. Only before we go any further, we must come to some satisfactory conclusion, or we will get hopelessly complicated.
Here's a case unprecedented, here a king and queen is far, and as his marriage was first invented, never was known a case so hard. I may be said to have been by sanctified a profound catastrophe.
Through a calamity unexpected and invisible into free.
I may be said to have been a bisected.
I may be invisible into three. Through a calamity I am divisible into three.
Both marvelous old, utterly cold, manifestations of unity, the next to the constant all my senses point to the invisible into three. Oh, marvelous law, marvelous law, marvelous days of unity. Oh,
sentiments conflicting, our hearts rejoicing, grieve, each other contradicting, to lost